The movie unfolds with Kate, immersed in the strains of an instructive recording. She arrives at her intended destination, where a captivating series is on the television screen. Engrossed by the melodrama, a cooking expert, a busboy, and a dishwasher tend to their duties. Kate, slipping in through the rear entrance, gives a crumpled bundle of currency to the manager Teresa. She apprises her of 3 fresh orders that have just come in. With haste, Kate navigates the tumultuous streets in her designated pizza car, eventually arriving at a residence where other vehicles are waiting to pick up their kids. Among them are her 3 daughters, Emily, age 13, who exudes despondency, Abby, a determined and adventurous girl, and Molly, a delightful 6-year-old girl. Retrieving their school bags, the girls engage in a spirited conversation, while Emily expresses her frustration about feeling embarrassed during the ride. Meanwhile, aboard a luxurious yacht, Leonardo dances as his female companions adorn him with whipped cream and luscious chocolate sauce. In the midst of revelry, the steward discreetly approaches and brings the news of minor mechanical malfunctions, requiring the yacht to dock nearby for repairs. Oblivious to an incoming call from his pappy, Leonardo remains absorbed in his merriment. Lying on his bed, various machines connected to his fragile body, Pappy wearily finishes his conversation, frustrated by his inability to reach Leonardo. Aware of the time steadily running away, Pappy asks his other children to initiate the gradual transfer of the family company. Sophia tenderly reassures Pappy, however Magdalena, holding different opinions, strongly disagrees with Pappy's desires, and angrily leaves the room in a powerful rage. She yearns to claim the company, completely going against what Pappy wants. Kate arrives home. As they disembark, Kate implores Emily to take care of her schoolwork. Inside the house, Kate's mother Grace emerges with an air of excitement, eager to share news of an incoming phone call. Kate, feeling rushed, extends her apologies and alludes to her other tasks. She shares a wonderful opportunity she received from the prestigious senior theater. Curious about the traveling aspect, Kate seeks more details. Although Grace understands Kate's concerns about her upcoming nursing examination and the need for help raising her children, she is torn. Kate pleads with her mother. She implores her to stay, recounting her arduous endeavors in the upbringing of 3 daughters single-handedly, and the financial strain after her husband's passing. Grace asks Kate to care for Fiona, the family's cherished dog, during her absence. Kate's protestations are met with an unwavering insistence. Eventually, she finally agrees. The following morning she traverses the promenade and wanders past anchored fishing boats, until she spots Leonardo's magnificent yacht, which stands out from the rest. Kate ventures into the aftermath of revelry, where leftover ice cream toppings are scattered around, and champagne bottles are carelessly strewn on the deck. Dialing her friend Nersa, Kate imparts a visual account of the luxurious boat, only to be interrupted by Leonardo's abrupt awakening, leaving Kate confounded. Playfully alluding to himself as the Beast, and Kate as the Beauty, Leonardo emerges unclothed. Kate's gaze alights upon a tattoo of Speedy Gonzales on Leonardo's posterior. Kate challenges Leonardo about potentially offensive implications, and he in turn defends it, citing adoration for Speedy's nimbleness. Disappearing within his closet, Leonardo puts on swimwear. At this juncture, the steward returns, bearing a drink for Leonardo, and asks him to relay the chef's instructions for preparing breakfast. 2 girls enter the scene, extending an invitation for Leonardo to join them in the pool, thus leaving Kate alone tasked solely with her cleaning duties. In the next scene, a craftsman delivers a progress report to the captain. The captain expresses his satisfaction. Their collective gaze alights upon Leonardo, engrossed in aquatic merriment. Ascending the diving board, Leonardo catches sight of his sister Magda getting out of a fancy dark limousine. Leonardo, who is quite drunk, indulges in a lively exchange with Magda. Magda contends that her dedication to the familial enterprise renders her the rightful heir. Contrarily, Leonardo suggests that he assumes the mantle of preserving the family's public image. Little do the arguing siblings know, Kate overhears their intense conversation. Later, Leonardo is approached by Kate, who is trying to water the lawn. He proceeds to ask her to fetch a snack for him, but she declines. That's not part of her role. They argue back and forth until Leonardo abruptly fires her, irritated at her refusal to bend to his will. The captain announces the completion of repairs, signifying their imminent departure. In a dramatic confrontation, Kate unleashes her anger on Leonardo, accusing him of being extremely selfish, and labeling him as nothing more than a spoiled troublemaker. She criticizes his laziness, and claims that he has never worked a single day in his privileged life. The assembled crew enjoy the spectacle with laughter. The ship's horn sounds, signaling the departure of the yacht. Kate rushes to the railing, worried she isn't going to get off in time. Meanwhile, Leonardo simply continues to brag. As the boat gradually sails away, Leonardo discloses their destination of San Francisco, yet Kate persists, demanding remuneration for her work. In response, Leonardo pushes her into the water. When the first mate declares a man overboard, Leonardo, determined and stubborn, insists that Kate is not part of their group. He heartlessly tosses her costly steam cleaner into the salty depths. In the ensuing sequence, Kate finds solace in the company of her friend Teresa. She reveals the burden of affording fresh cleaning equipment. which demands an exorbitant price. Teresa's husband Bobby enters the room, and Kate, filled with anger, tells him about the malicious Leonardo Montenegro. Intrigued, Teresa consults the internet, revealing Leonardo to be the son of the third wealthiest man in the world. Kate, plagued by worries of financial destitution, only has $32 in her account, and the fear of being homeless troubles her every waking moment. She is desperate to find new employment and feels overwhelmed by the challenges of being a parent while pursuing her education. Teresa, the shining light of support, encourages her friend to keep going and assures her that she will look for opportunities for a rewarding job. In the subsequent sequence, Leonardo is struck by a troubling realization when he reaches for his supply of condoms, but discovers it is empty. In his inebriated state, Leonardo embarks on a quest for the hidden condoms, discovering them secretly tucked away behind a soft cushion. Exulting in this triumph, he momentarily loses his hold on the vessel and clumsily falls overboard. Meanwhile, Magda converses over the telephone, seemingly oblivious to her siblings' calls. Eventually, Leonardo disappears into the waves of the ocean. In a hospital room, Leonardo reclines upon his bed, attended by a nurse. A doctor enters, meticulously examining him, as Leonardo voices his grievances concerning his amnesiac state. The physician delivers the disheartening prognosis of acute amnesia and casts doubt on the possibility of restoring his memory. Magda engages the doctor in conversation, asking if there is anything they can do. The doctor suggests that seeing familiar faces might serve as a trigger. Intrigued, Magda looks into her brother's room, but she denies that the man inside is her brother. Then she retreats, leaving Leonardo abandoned. Kate complains to Teresa again, revealing that only 2 weeks remain to pay the rent. Abruptly, the cook enters, showing his phone with animated fervor. He shows them an article concerning an amnesiac man in their town. Kate recognizes Leonardo. Teresa declares it an opportunity to take advantage of this situation, and together they decide to go to the hospital, hoping to claim the money she's owed. Upon reaching the hospital's threshold, Kate and their son make their way to the reception desk. They inform her of their intention to claim Kate's spouse, the amnesiac gentleman. The nurse, in turn, hands them an envelope containing the meager possessions accompanying Leonardo. To Kate's dismay, all she finds inside are a few condoms. This discovery shakes her determination, and she decides to give up on their plan. Teresa, in an attempt to convince Kate, promises her that following the rehearsed script will be enough. Kate, however, hesitates, having doubts regarding the legality of their actions. Teresa explains that their plan will only last for a month, and will help Kate pass an exam while the man provides support. In the end, Kate gives in to their persuasive pleas, although she does so reluctantly. Meanwhile, the doctor enters and informs Leonardo of his wife's arrival. Initially overjoyed, Leonardo soon becomes confused when he realizes that he can't remember anything about his marriage. Kate, entering the room, strives to convince Leonardo of their union, tendering him a document and a skillfully edited photograph. She recounts their love story and recollections of their shared experiences. With no other options left, Kate unveils a secret, a tattoo of Speedy Gonzales. Reluctantly, Leonardo turns his gaze and finally sees the permanent mark, finally accepting the idea that Kate is indeed his spouse. Kate pulls up to their house, a small and run-down bungalow. Leonardo, shocked, perceives their poor living conditions. Yet Kate endeavors to reassure him, and together they enter the house, which is filled with unopened boxes. Their daughters quickly come down, hugging Leonardo tightly. Leonardo, struggling with his memory loss, apologizes for his inability to recognize any of them. Kate introduces their children, and she whispers in his ears how they were conceived with the help of a sperm donor. Astonished, Leonardo learns of his own sterility, yet Kate reassures him that it doesn't change anything, because he is still their beloved father. She pretends that he had been dedicated to providing for the family through various jobs, but recently became unemployed, until securing a position with a construction company. Overwhelmed by the flood of information, Leonardo seeks solace in a drink, only to be stopped by Kate, who reveals his 3-year-long sobriety. Encouraging his progress, Kate mentions how his memory is slowly coming back to him. As Leonardo ventures toward the lavatory, Kate and the girls share hopeful glances. Leonardo attempts to escape, but he is caught by Kate and the girls. Later that night, Kate guides him to the place where he will be sleeping. At the break of dawn, Leonardo wakes up with a feeling of unease, accompanied by a piercing alarm that echoes through the air. He boards Bobby's pickup truck. Once arriving, Bobby proceeds to introduce Leonardo to the assembled crew, comprising Gato, Burro, Burrito, Vito, and Frito. Engaged in their labor, Leonardo confides in Bobby, admitting his inexperience in the realm of construction, and suggesting that he may be better suited for errands or office tasks. Understanding his situation, Bobby sympathizes and assures him that he will handle it delicately. We witness struggles with a heavy wheelbarrow, trying hard to climb a steep slope. Leonardo keeps going, using all his strength, but his energy starts to fade, and eventually he ends up falling into the container. The crew, passing by, can't help but burst into laughter, teasing him playfully. In the subsequent scene, Magda and Sofia offer solace to Pappy, who is grieving over the remains of Leonardo. But truthfully, Magda lied and brought Cole instead, faking her brother's demise. In an attempt to alleviate Pappy's concerns, Magda suggests initiating the transfer of the company's administration, yet he adamantly dismisses any discourse. This declaration leaves Magda frustrated. Later, Bobby's truck arrives, and an exhausted Leonardo disembarks, his body resembling that of a zombie, walking toward the front door. He is consumed by fatigue and parched with thirst. Molly suggests escorting him to the hospital, yet Kate assures them that rest is all he needs. Leo rambles about the dirt blocking his nose, while Kate advises him to take a short break before starting his nighttime tasks. Kate offers a slip of paper to Leonardo to aid his memory. He declines, asserting his inability to carry on, and deeming the tasks impossible. In the next part of the story, Leo walks slowly down the aisle of a store, looking tired as he pushes a shopping cart. He passes by the boat mechanic, who recognizes him. Later, all gather around the dinner table, indulging in cereal once again. The sauce puzzles everyone except Abby, who relishes its uniqueness. That night, Leonardo leans against the doorway with a seductive air, yet Kate questions his playfulness. Leo insists that he has some energy left, yet Kate implores him to wait until after her examination. She slips past him, and Leo descends the stairs, disheartened, retiring to his bed. The next day, he feels overwhelmed by the mess surrounding him. He's wrestling with a heavy hose, filled with wet concrete pouring out uncontrollably. The crew surrounding him laughs at his expense. Leonardo complains about always being assigned to the most unpleasant jobs, while Bobby suggests that he should ask his wife for help. Since he'll be working late into the evening and needs assistance with getting the fencing, Bobby thinks Kate could lend a hand. In the following scene, Teresa folds napkins while Kate enters, her countenance ablaze with satisfaction with the genius plan, and how Leo is taking charge of everything. Once more at the worksite, the crew indulges in a break. Leo shares his concerns, sensing that something is not quite right. Vito, Burrito, and Gato also share their own dreams and aspirations, envisioning the possibilities that wealth could bring. Leonardo, feeling like a stranger within his own house, believes his purpose is reduced to that of a mere provider. Later, Bobby offers Leo a ride home. Leo arrives to find Kate engrossed in her studies. He reminisces about bygone days, confusing Kate. Conversely, Pappy lies on his bed, connected to machines that keep him alive. Sophia enters, placing Leonardo's remains upon the bedside table. Sophia's gaze falls upon the engraving upon the urn, a testament of Crawford Mortuary, compelling her to search for the means to obtain a certificate. On the ensuing morning, Leo and the crew drop cement adjacent to the mixer. Leo casts his eyes upon the bag, bearing the inscription, Montenegro Industries, and feels sad about the greed of those in power who control the majority of people. Bobby announces that it is payday, dispensing checks to the eager laborers. Leo returns home, bearing the weight of groceries. Setting the groceries on the kitchen counter, he contemplates his paycheck with a sense of accomplishment. Emily descends the stairs, noting Leo's early arrival. They engage in conversation regarding a visit to the pool, and Leo encourages her to go and have fun while he watches her sisters. On the phone, Grace delicately applies cream to her face while talking to Kate. Yet, amidst her animated discourse, Kate's gaze drifts towards the disquieting sight of Emily in the pool. She hangs up and forces her out, angry that she abandoned her siblings. Kate admonishes Emily for neglecting her responsibilities. To this, Emily retaliates, asserting that it was not she who brought Leo into their home. They are immediately greeted by loud cries coming from inside the house. Inside the house, they chance upon Leo, Abby, and Molly, completely engrossed in a televised contest featuring the Seahawks. Leo, acting like a proud father, excitedly tells Kate the news of their team's success. In that moment, Leo suddenly understands and points to a bookshelf, a puzzle from IKEA that he has finally managed to solve. A sudden realization hits him: he has somehow gained the ability to speak fluent French, and he wonders about its mysterious origin. Perplexed, Kate reflects on his past as a guide in the streets of Paris. Emily throws an accusation at Kate and blames her for needlessly humiliating her. Abby, quick to seize the opportunity, teases Emily about being confined. Kate, unyielding in the face of this defiance, extends Emily's period of grounding to 2 weeks. Sensing the need for a private conversation, Leo asks Kate to join him in the kitchen. In hushed tones, he tells her that she might be too harsh with Emily. Yet Kate dismisses his perspective with cold indifference, which surprises and hurts Leo deeply. He emphasizes that his absence as a biological father should not exclude him from their lives, or diminish his role as a father figure and a man. Despite Kate's fervent attempt to explain her actions, her words fail to alleviate the weight of Leo's pain and wounded pride. In an assembly of alcoholics, Leo steps forward, introducing himself. Greeted by the compassionate gazes of his fellow attendees, Leo confesses to the haziness that shrouds his memories of bygone drinking days. He shares his triumph over temptation, recounting a difficult situation with his wife, and how close he came to giving in to the urge to drink, but ultimately managed to resist. Meanwhile, Kate is engrossed in reading nursing books. Amidst her search for a snack, she notices the careful arrangement that Leo has given to their food, and a pang of guilt fills her as she realizes she hasn't been very kind to him. On the other hand, Sophia finds herself engaged in discourse with the sheriff. To her dismay, the sheriff reveals that no drownings have transpired within the past 4 years. Such revelations only serve to heighten Sophia's worry and fear. As darkness descends, Leo approaches Kate, voicing a sincere apology for their earlier disagreement. Yet Kate assures him that no apology is required. The pair come to an understanding, and Leo reveals that he has approached Teresa and asked if he can take over some of Kate's shifts at the pizzeria so she can study for her upcoming exam. It finally seems like the two are about to start getting along. As Leo is reaching for a spoon on the shelf, he accidentally cuts himself, and Kate rushes over to assist him, concerned. The two share a tender moment, and Kate offers for him to sleep on the couch instead of out in the shed. In the next morning, Leo starts at the pizzeria. As he enters the restaurant through the back entrance, his eyes briefly graze the television screen, where a telenovela unfolds. Inquiring with the busboy about Catalina, the household servant, Leo receives disheartening news of her recent loss, a shattered dream of motherhood. An overwhelming sadness washes over him. Later, Leo gives Emily the money to go back to the swimming pool and promises to retrieve her for Abby's impending match. Curiosity seizes Molly's inquisitive mind, and she questions the reason behind their exclusion. Leo explains that they are letting Emily have some time alone. However, as Leo starts the car, he sees Emily engaged in a flirtatious discussion with a lifeguard. He quickly intercedes and drags her away, scandalized. They have a brief argument before Emily, with a heavy heart and deep sadness, opens up about something personal. She reveals that the lifeguard is gay. Curious about the cause of her distress, Leo listens attentively as Emily pours out her feelings. She explains how she used to be popular in Portland, but now she feels like an outsider, lacking genuine companionship. Leo implores her to embrace the essence of joy and mirth. In a subsequent scene, Leo's fervent cheers resonate throughout the air, spreading among the crowd, as Abby triumphantly traverses the rugby field, reaching the pinnacle of her success with a glorious touchdown. Overflowing with paternal pride, Leo praises her accomplishments. Later, the family embarks on a leisurely bike excursion. Kate, a portrait of astonishment, discovers Molly skillfully riding her bicycle, liberated from the training wheels. Concluding their journey, they find comfort in an inviting ice cream shop. With innocent curiosity, Molly admits that she fears his departure. Tenderly, Leo reassures her he's going nowhere. As the sun rises on the following morning, Kate undertakes her nurse examination. Meanwhile, Magda enters the room, resigned to find it empty. Yet, as fate would have it, her father, Pappy, strides into the room unexpectedly. He reveals that an incorrect prescription had caused his health to decline. But now he has recovered and is ready to confront his mistakes. Simultaneously, Sophia, consumed by a relentless desire for truth, delves deep into the enigma surrounding her brother's untimely demise. Later, Kate is caught up in a whirlwind of chores, while getting ready for the busy noon rush and conversing with Teresa. Curious, Teresa asks if Kate plans to tell Leo the truth, and Kate confirms that she intends to reveal it during their evening meal. However, a slight trembling of nerves exposes Kate's admission of being anxious about his reaction. Subsequently, Kate approaches Leo, who busies himself with the preparations for their evening meal. She commences her confession, acknowledging a serious mistake, an act deemed unforgivable. But just as they start talking, the loud sound of the oven timer interrupts them, indicating that their meal is ready. Seated around the table, Leo brings out a delicious platter full of pasta, proudly praising his cooking skills. In the end, Kate can't bring herself to say it, looking at her daughter's worried faces. In the ensuing scene, Leo and Kate find themselves caught up in a dance. They are surrounded by many other couples in a busy place. Leo impresses Kate with his skillful dancing, and they both feel an overwhelming sense of joy. Inquisitive, Kate wonders about the source of 3 loud horn sounds coming from a faraway tugboat. Leo, ever the romantic, spins and weaves a story brimming with magic, recounting the tale of Arturo and Catalina. Their laughter mingles, and just as Leo is about to speak again, Kate, emboldened, leans in, tenderly bestowing upon him a passionate kiss. The night leads them to their bed. The following morning, Leo and his teammates celebrate their triumph in building a magnificent pool. They playfully toss Leo into the pool. In the meantime, Kate eagerly waits for the results to appear on her laptop. Meanwhile, Leo enters the car. In a rush, Kate shares with him a list of essential items they need, such as coleslaw, chips, and cookies. Coincidentally, Leo finds a pen inside the car, but soon realizes that its ink has dried up. Desperately searching for a solution, he opens the glove compartment and unexpectedly comes across a pack of condoms. Confusion and pain mix within Leo's heart as he confronts Kate regarding this disconcerting discovery. Kate endeavors to downplay the significance of the condoms, yet Leo accuses her of cheating on him. Eventually, under pressure, Kate reveals the truth, disclosing that they are not legally married. Leo feels the sharp pain of betrayal. In the midst of anger, Leo and Kate enter the house. Kate urges her daughters to reveal the truth. However, Abby and Molly affirm that Leo is their father. In this familial dispute, Kate contends that he does not belong to them. Yet Emily counters that Leo does not solely belong to Kate either. Still wrapped in sadness, Leo withdraws. Emily and Molly express their desire to retain his paternal presence. Kate, unable to believe what she is hearing, and feeling shaken, finds it difficult to understand just how deeply her children are attached to Leo. Meanwhile, Teresa, who deeply understands Leo's emotional distress, decides to protect Kate from his anger by declaring the condoms hers. Kate inadvertently overhears their exchange, verifying Teresa's claim. At this moment, Kate admits that she endeavored to share the truth with Leo. Teresa pleads with Kate to share her feelings of bitterness. However, Leo, being kind-hearted, assures Teresa that he holds no ill will towards her. He tenderly offers an apology to Kate for not trusting her. The voices of their daughters call out to Leo, urging him to join them for the second half of the game. This prompts him to quickly enter the house, leaving Kate and Teresa to contemplate the whole situation. In a moment's time, as Leo and the girls emerge, their voices erupt in screams of happiness. Overflowing with excitement, Leo shares his news, exclaiming joyfully that Kate passed her exam. They engage in a splendid celebration, complete with a barbecue feast, delightful music, refreshing drinks, frisbees soaring through the sky, and a cake adorned with well wishes. Leo takes Bobby aside, and with a serious expression, Bobby reveals that he and his beloved Teresa are going to couples therapy. He advises Leo not to take Kate's presence for granted. Bobby discreetly conveys to Teresa that she owes him a favor. Subsequently, the boat mechanic captures images of his expectant spouse, and stumbles upon a photograph of Leo alongside Kate and the girls. Memories from a similar scene, witnessed on the impressive yacht, come flooding back to him. Meanwhile, the captain receives a message bearing a picture testament of Leo, who designates him as the wealthy lost son. In a solemn event, Pappy earnestly asks everyone to collect a small amount of Leonardo's ashes. But just before they do, the steward, with a serious expression, hands Pappy a photograph and reveals the astonishing truth: Leo is alive. Magda, pretending to be ecstatically happy, hides her real feelings. Before the cake is cut at the barbecue, Kate acknowledges Leo's unwavering support. Leo humbly kneels down and asks Kate to marry him once more. Kate agrees happily as a tender kiss is shared between them, amidst the resounding cheers and thunderous applause of their family and friends. Later, in a beautiful familial scene, Leo, Kate, and the girls find comfort in a peaceful camp nestled in the woods. On their way back, Leo sees a black limo waiting for them. Curious, he extends salutations to his father and siblings, and a sudden memory floods his mind. But this fleeting happiness of returning memory quickly fades away as he realizes with unease that Kate has deceived him. Consumed by heartache, he withdraws indoors to gather his belongings. Kate tenders her apology and gratitude. The girls implore him to stay, but he departs, leaving them bereft and abandoned. Molly hops on her bicycle and trails after the sleek limousine, tears streaming down her face, desperately trying to reach her father, Leo. Leo glances back and catches sight of her, causing him to break down in sobs. However, Molly eventually resigns herself to the fact that she cannot catch up to him, and she lets go of her pursuit. In the ensuing scene, Pappy, Magda, Sophia, and Leonardo embark once more upon the yacht. The vessel sets sail, embarking upon the boundless sea. Kate and her daughters sit disconsolately. Molly, in a wistful tone, mentions her preference for Leo's delectable sauce. With remorse etching her face, Kate extends her apologies for subjecting them to such anguish, while assuring them of brighter days ahead. She confesses that she made a mistake, and Leo is now upset with her. She believes that he is happy in his world of luxury and attractive companions. Emily, overwhelmed with emotions, quietly leaves the table to find comfort in being alone. On the other hand, Leonardo, dressed in his resplendent clothes again, reclines alongside his family at the table. Pappy expresses his jubilation and relief that Leonardo will guide the company for generations to come. Magda is taken aback, for she believes she would assume the mantle of authority within the company. She expresses her anxiety to their father regarding the family's financial future, asking for his consideration. Meanwhile, at the community theater, Kate and her daughters attend their grandmother's performance. Kate, with a measured sigh, responds that one must embrace their passions to avoid regrets in the future. Following a brief moment of contemplation, Kate declares her intention to find Leo, and her daughters, aflame with enthusiasm, embrace this decision as they embark together. Meanwhile, Leonardo, seizing a bottle from the refrigerator, finds himself surprised by the arrival of the steward, who catches him in the act. The steward asks why Leonardo didn't call him to bring the bottle, and Leonardo honestly admits his forgetfulness. As Leonardo looks around, he realizes that he has owned this boat for over 10 years, but has never explored this particular area before. The steward explains that Leonardo's lack of familiarity is due to his habit of entrusting everything to others. Leonardo offers his apologies for past behavior. In a moment of vulnerability, Leonardo confesses to feeling adrift. The steward assures him that his sentiments are valid. He expounds that most individuals go through life with limited perspectives, confined to the circumstances of their birth. Leonardo, however, has been granted the privilege of beholding existence from a fresh perspective. Next, the scene transitions to Kate and her daughters, knocking on the door of Teresa's pizzeria. Bobby finds himself confronted by Kate's inquiry regarding his boat. Leonardo, now dressed in a comfortable bathrobe, sips his coffee while Pappy joins him. Leonardo, with candor, informs him that he commanded the vessel to be reversed, revealing his love for Kate. He tries to reason with Pappy, but the patriarch remains steadfast. He seizes control of the helm, deftly steering the boat. In swift succession, Leonardo and Magda follow behind. Witnessing Leonardo's newfound romantic spirit, Magda admires him and empowers him to seize the moment. And as the story unfolds, Sofia enters the scene. Sofia, disregarding Magda's support, expresses Magda's desire to remove Leonardo from the frame. She reveals her thorough investigations and shares information she learned from a local news source, suggesting that Magda deliberately abandoned Leonardo in the hospital. Realization dawns upon Leo, for suddenly he understands, as the horn signals the arrival of another ship. Taking a pair of binoculars, Leonardo looks through them. And there it is, Bobby's fishing boat appears, carrying Kate, the children, Bobby, Teresa, the kitchen staff, and the construction crew. They are all wearing life jackets, waving their arms excitedly to greet them. Leo, overcome with jubilation, jumps and dances. Kate and the girls rejoice, hugging each other tightly. But their happiness doesn't last long, as they quickly realize that Leo's boat is moving away. Leonardo hurries to the control room, but Pappy, who has locked himself inside, continues to steer the boat without wavering. Leonardo pounds on the glass door, pleading with Pappy to unlock it. Pappy firmly refuses to let anyone get off until they reach the shores of Mexico. As a result, the two boats move away from each other. Leonardo becomes increasingly frustrated and decides to climb the railing and jump into the water. He passionately declares his love to her, and she responds with equal affection. Inspired by their love, Kate also jumps into the water. The scene shifts, revealing a captivating view of the parted lovers propelling themselves toward one another. Kate expresses her strong desire to never be separated from Leo again, and he shares the same feelings, comparing their situation to a contemporary fairy tale. On the yacht, Pappy admonishes Leonardo. Undeterred by this dire warning, Leonardo pushes forward, his determination driving him ahead. Pappy, in response, threatens to cut off all ties and disinherit him. Magda and Sofia, joining Pappy, lend their voices to expressing their disagreement. Pappy announces his decision to pass on the ownership of Monteverde Industries to Leonardo's sister. Magda, mistakenly thinking she is the chosen one, expresses gratitude, but is quickly corrected by Pappy that it's Sofia. The truth suddenly hits Magda hard. Struck by this revelation, she protests vehemently, realizing she has been cast aside. However, Pappy accuses Magda of being dishonest and calls her a despicable person. Pappy gives Leonardo one final opportunity to make his choice. Bobby's small boat approaches Leonardo, who is swimming nearby. He asks Kate to wait for a moment, because he needs to talk to his father. He suggests keeping their Swiss bank accounts, or receiving a generous monthly allowance. However, Pappy immediately rejects these ideas. Leo proclaims to Pappy that he has chosen Kate. Bobby suggests that Leonardo take a moment to think again, recognizing the challenges that await. But he professes that his life was more fulfilling when he had nothing but love, even in times of scarcity, than when he possessed endless wealth. In a playful manner, Kate suggests a scenario. If she were to jump back into the water, would he kiss her? Leonardo, without any hesitation, assures her that he will indeed. And so Kate submerges herself once again, and in that magnificent embrace, they share a passionate kiss. The sweet sound of a bell echoes through the air, catching Leonardo's attention as he witnesses the entrance of the steward. Leonardo addresses the steward by his name, Colin, his presence causing an unexpected stir. The steward unveils the matter of the yacht, her gift to him on his birthday, and further reveals that the vessel's ownership is still Leo's. The steward confirms that what Leonardo has gained is truly remarkable. The yacht is valued at over $60 million. Their money problems are solved. Finally, at the end of the tale, the scene depicts Kate and Leonardo encircled by their loved ones. The captain officiates their sacred union, declaring them husband and wife. On the back of the boat, next to the clear words "birthday present," stands a sign with the bold message, "For sale."